The Foreign Office has confirmed that a woman from Essex has died in Haiti. 59-year-old Anne Barnes, who came from Leigh-on-Sea, is the second Briton to be confirmed dead in the earthquake. Amelia Reynolds has the details. She's in our newsroom now.
Anne Barnes was working for the UN as the assistant to the Haitian police commissioner. Now, it's believed she was in the UN headquarters building in Port-au-Prince when the earthquake struck more than 2 weeks ago. She was 59 and, as you say, came from Leigh-on-Sea near Southend in Essex. And we know that Anne has family in South Essex. For them, watching that news footage of the rescue operation over the last few days must have left them in a constant state of fearing the worst, but at the same time hoping for the best. That hope now is, of course, gone.
And have we heard from any of the family yet or not?
Not from the family directly, but a Facebook page has been set up for family and friends, and a number of her UN colleagues have posted messages on that Facebook page. I'll read you just a few. One writes, "You have devoted your life to peace. May you now rest in peace." Another writes, "Anne was a lovely, bright, friendly person," and friends describe her wit and sharp mind and refer to her as such a bright lady. She was the second Briton to die in Haiti. UN worker Frederick Wooldridge from Kent was the first.
Amelia, thank you. The government is pressing ahead with plans for a new prison near Chelmsford. Despite local opposition, it would house 1,500 prisoners and create 800 new jobs and be built on the site of an old psychiatric hospital at Runwell.
This was the moment last April when Jack Straw, the Justice Secretary, announced Runwell could be in line for a new prison. Despite considerable opposition after that announcement, the government has now taken the next step, and at the offices of Chelmsford Borough Council, they've received an outline planning application for a prison that would hold 1,500 inmates. Maria Eagle, Justice Minister, said this represents a significant milestone in the planning for a new prison at Runwell. If it goes ahead, the prison would be built here, on the site of the former Runwell Secure Psychiatric Hospital. But at least one local MP is worried the government's rushing the proposal through.
I would suggest that more time is needed to make sure that they choose appropriate sites. And I worry that because they're in such a rush, they're going to just roller coaster over people's views and decide to go ahead irrespective of local opposition.
Wickford would be just down the road from the new prison.
I've got nothing against the prisons or whatever, but I wouldn't like it myself.
If the place is redundant, I suppose it's a good use for it.
You don't want the stigma of having a prison down your road, do you?
But the old hospital's neighbours will still have a chance to have their say.
Well, there will be public meetings in the locality of Runwell, but anybody can come in here at any time and might comment about the plans or at the information centre at Southwood and Ferris. So we're trying to get as many people to comment as possible.
The problem the government faces is more prison places are desperately needed, but no one wants to live next door to a new prison. Gareth George, BBC Look East.
A recruitment boss says a Norfolk job centre told her she couldn't ask for reliable and hard-working applicants. Nicole Mamo asked the Job Centre Plus in Thetford to advertise for a hospital cleaner, but a member of staff told her such an advert would discriminate against unreliable people. The Department of Work and Pensions said the advert was worded in the job centre as Miss Mamo requested. A farm shop in Suffolk has been damaged by a fire just hours after it won a national award. 7 fire crews were called to the Suffolk Food Hall at Wherstead. The fire was discovered by one of the bakers. It's hoped the food hall will reopen on Friday.
I came from Woodbridge over the Orwell Bridge this morning and saw blue lights everywhere and thought, this is terrible. Arrived, they were just amazingly under control, very efficient, and have done a fantastic job.
A controversial plan to plant 100 new palm trees on the seafront in Southend has been given the go-ahead. The Borough Council is spending about £100,000 on the scheme and says it's money well spent.
We're spending something like £8 million on greening the next bit along in City Beach. To leave this completely sterile on the shore side of all trees and things would be a shame. So I think this is an excellent opportunity to put a bit of interest and a touch of the Riviera, which is what I think somebody else referred to it earlier, into Southend. I think it's a fantastic opportunity.
Pubs operated by the Suffolk brewer Green King are reporting an increase in sales of 5% over Christmas. However, the company says things slowed down during the bad weather. It's warning of tougher trading ahead with the increase in VAT to 17.5%.
Now, many of us liked playing with Lego when we were young, but the pupils of Trimley St Martin Primary School in Suffolk have taken it to new heights. They've just won a national competition to build a working robot out of it.
3, 2, 1, Lego!
Mission control at the Young Engineers Club, and this is Frank.
Frank! Fast, reliable, amazingly, notoriously cool, spelled with a K.
It's taken more than 40 hours of after-school club time to build the programmes of this robot, complete with light, touch and rotation sensors.
We program the robot to do all the missions, and we try and figure out what attachments we need to use and say what sort of moves do we need to do to get the robot to get to where we want it to do.
Former electronics engineer Derek Edwards is leader of the club.
They're learning about the technology, they're learning how to research information on the internet, how to use a lot of the ICT activities that they normally use in school, but focused on something really important.
Aged between 9 and 11, these kids have beaten off national competition to win the finals of the first Lego League.
We had to learn how to use the NXT brick, and we had to learn how to program it on the computer, and we also had to learn how to run it and how to line it up.
Next stop for Frank and the Young Engineers, Atlanta in April to represent the UK against the world. All they need is £20,000 of sponsorship. Big money for a big idea. Carol Bundock, BBC Look East, Suffolk.
Isn't that good? In football, Norwich City are now 3 points clear at the top of League One after beating Walsall last night. There was a good win too for Colchester. Ipswich drew and Southend lost.
In the Championship, Ipswich Town went ahead at West Brom through a controversial penalty. It looked like a routine challenge, but the referee thought otherwise. Grant Ledbetter put Town ahead, but in the 3rd minute of added time, the Baggies struck back. 1-1, but Roy Keane said he was pleased with the draw.
I have to say I'm pleased with the performance and even the draw. I know we conceded again another late goal, but you know, you take that away from West Brom. They kept going till the end, and if we were a bit more cuter and clever, we would have won the game earlier with the chances we had, particularly when we were 1-0 up. But that will come. I thought our performance tonight was very, very good.
Ipswich desperately need points, but for Norwich City, they just keep coming. They were 1-0 down at Walsall, but levelled through Chris Martin, his 18th of the season. Then Cody MacDonald volleyed the winner for their 7th straight victory. 3 points clear at the top of League One after Leeds lost. Manager Paul Lambert described his players as incredible. Colchester took the points in the regional derby against the MK Dons. Kevin Lisby put them 1 up. Then he was fouled and had his penalty saved. But David Prutton made it 2-0 on his debut, and the U's are looking good in 4th place. And Southend, they went to Millwall but rarely threatened and lost 2-0. Manager Steve Tilson said he wasn't happy with the match officials. Ian Barmer, BBC Look East.
Now, this week we've been meeting some of the athletes to look out for in 2012 as we build up to the London Olympics.
Tonight, Danny Crane's the Paralympic medal winner.